Life unfolds in stages, each with its own challenges, triumphs, and wisdom. Inspired by Stoic principles, the 7 Ages of Man, a modern life lesson, explores how we can navigate these phases with resilience, discipline, and purpose. From the innocence of youth to the wisdom of old age, Stoicism teaches us to embrace change, master our emotions, and focus on what we can control. This speech will guide you through the 7 stages of life, offering timeless lessons on strength, virtue, and inner peace. Because true fulfillment is not found in external success, but in mastering oneself. Life is a journey marked by transitions, and each stage presents its own lessons, challenges, and opportunities for growth. From the innocence of childhood to the wisdom of old age, every phase has its purpose. However, many struggle with these inevitable changes, resisting them out of fear, nostalgia, or an unwillingness to let go of the past. The Stoics teach that true peace comes from accepting reality as it unfolds, rather than clinging to what was or worrying about what will be. When we are young, we are full of energy, curiosity, and the desire to explore the world. This is a time of learning, absorbing knowledge, and developing a sense of self. But youth is also marked by impulsiveness and inexperience, leading to mistakes and misjudgments. The Stoic response to this is to see every error not as failure, but as a lesson. Instead of regretting youthful missteps, we should extract wisdom from them, using each experience to refine our judgment and strengthen our character. As adulthood approaches, responsibilities increase, and life demands discipline, resilience, and patience. Many people resist this transition, longing for the freedom of youth or fearing the weight of responsibility. But the Stoic mindset teaches that each stage carries its own virtues. The discipline required in adulthood is not a burden, but a tool for shaping one's destiny. Instead of resisting responsibilities, we should embrace them as opportunities to demonstrate strength, reliability, and wisdom. With time, priorities shift. The ambitions that once seemed so important may lose their hold, replaced by a deeper appreciation for stability, relationships, and self-awareness. Some struggle with this transition, feeling they are losing their drive or relevance. But change is not a loss, it is evolution. The Stoics remind us that clinging to the past only brings suffering. By embracing the present stage, whatever it may be, we align ourselves with nature's course and find peace in the flow of life. As age advances, the body may weaken, but the mind has the potential to reach its peak in wisdom. Many fear aging, seeing it as a decline rather than an opportunity. But Stoicism teaches that age is not the loss of youth, it is the gain of perspective. Each stage of life is a stepping stone, preparing us for the next. When we accept and embrace where we are rather than resisting what is inevitable, we move through life with grace and strength. Control is an illusion in many aspects of life. The world around us is unpredictable. People, circumstances, and events unfold beyond our command. Yet, despite this uncertainty, we often exhaust ourselves trying to control things that are simply not within our power. The Stoics teach a different approach. Instead of wasting energy on what we cannot influence, we should direct our focus inward, mastering our thoughts, reactions, and decisions. This is where true power lies, not in bending the world to our will, but in shaping our own responses to it. Every day, we encounter situations that test our patience and challenge our emotions. A colleague may disrespect us, a relationship may fall apart, or unforeseen difficulties may disrupt our plans. Many people allow these external events to dictate their inner state, leading to frustration, anger, or despair. However, the Stoic perspective urges us to pause and ask a simple but profound question. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, then resistance is futile. The only rational response is acceptance, coupled with a focus on what can be controlled: our attitude, effort, and perspective. This principle applies not only to adversity but also to success. People often tie their happiness to achievements, recognition, or material gain, believing that external rewards will bring fulfillment. However, these things are never truly under our control. We may work tirelessly for a promotion, but whether we receive it depends on the decisions of others. We may seek validation, but people's opinions shift like the wind. If our happiness is rooted in external circumstances, we become prisoners to forces beyond our grasp. The Stoic approach is to find contentment in our actions, not their outcomes. Did we act with integrity? Did we put forth our best effort? Did we remain true to our values? If so, then we have already succeeded, regardless of the results. This mindset frees us from unnecessary suffering. We stop worrying about what others think, fearing uncertain outcomes, or dwelling on the past. Instead, we turn our focus to what is within our power, our discipline, our virtues, our ability to remain calm amid chaos. This is where true strength lies. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and instead master our own responses, we gain something far more valuable than control. We gain peace. In a world driven by status, wealth, and external validation, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Society constantly pushes us to chase recognition, accumulate possessions, and measure success by material standards. However, the Stoics remind us that true fulfillment does not come from these fleeting achievements, but from the development of character, virtue, honesty, courage, wisdom, and self-discipline is the foundation of a meaningful life. Unlike external success, which is dependent on circumstances beyond our control, virtue is something we can cultivate regardless of our situation. From an early age, people are conditioned to seek approval. We are praised for good grades, rewarded for accomplishments, and encouraged to build an impressive resume. While there is nothing wrong with striving for excellence, problems arise when external validation becomes the sole measure of self-worth. If our happiness is tied to others' opinions, we become slaves to their expectations. A Stoic approach shifts the focus inward. Instead of asking, "What will people think of me?" the better question is, "Am I acting with integrity? Am I living in accordance with my values?" True success is not about impressing the world. It is about being at peace with oneself. Wealth and power, often seen as indicators of a successful life, are equally unreliable measures of fulfillment. History is filled with stories of powerful rulers and wealthy individuals who lived in misery despite their riches. Money can buy comfort, but not contentment. Power can demand obedience, but not genuine respect. The Stoics teach that external things are indifferent. They have no real value unless used for a virtuous purpose. A person who chases money for its own sake will never have enough. But one who uses wealth wisely to help others, to create stability, to enable a life of meaning, understands that possessions are tools, not goals. Focusing on virtue over vanity also strengthens resilience. A person who builds their identity around status will crumble when they lose it. But one who builds their life around integrity, discipline, and wisdom will remain steady in any storm. Challenges will come. Reputation may be damaged, fortune may be lost, and setbacks may arise. Yet if a person's foundation is built on character rather than external success, they remain unshaken. Virtue is the one possession that cannot be taken away. It is not dependent on luck, the opinions of others, or the shifting tides of fortune. It is the true measure of a life well lived. Emotions are powerful forces that shape our decisions, actions, and overall quality of life. Love, anger, fear, joy, these feelings drive human behavior in profound ways. However, when left unchecked, emotions can become destructive, leading to impulsive decisions, unnecessary suffering, and a loss of inner peace. The Stoics understood this deeply and taught that mastery over one's emotions is essential for a life of wisdom and tranquility. This does not mean suppressing feelings or becoming indifferent, but rather learning to respond to them with reason and self-control. Many people go through life reacting impulsively to whatever emotions arise. A harsh word from a stranger provokes immediate anger, a small failure leads to frustration and self-doubt, fear paralyzes action, and sadness breeds hopelessness. In these moments, emotions take control, dictating behavior and clouding judgment. The Stoics, however, emphasize the importance of pausing, reflecting, and choosing how to respond. Instead of being swept away by feelings, we must step back and examine them rationally. Why am I feeling this way? Is my reaction justified? Will acting on this emotion serve me or harm me? This practice of self-inquiry helps separate emotion from action, allowing reason to take the lead. Take anger, for example. It is a natural emotion, but when given free rein, it leads to regretful words, broken relationships, and poor decisions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, advised that when anger arises, we should remember that the person who wronged us is acting out of ignorance or weakness. Instead of lashing out, we should respond with patience and understanding. This shift in perspective prevents unnecessary conflict and preserves inner peace. The same applies to fear. Often we allow worst-case scenarios to dominate our thoughts, paralyzing us with anxiety. But fear is often exaggerated, and the Stoics remind us that most of what we worry about never actually happens. Instead of fearing the unknown, we should prepare for challenges while remaining calm and focused. Mastering emotions does not mean eliminating them. Love, joy, and even sadness have their place in life. The goal is not to feel nothing, but to avoid being controlled by fleeting emotions. A Stoic does not deny pain, but accepts it with courage. They do not suppress joy, but remain grounded in its presence. Emotional mastery is about balance, allowing emotions to exist without letting them dictate thoughts and actions. When we learn to manage our emotions with wisdom and discipline, we free ourselves from unnecessary turmoil and gain the power to navigate life with clarity and strength. Life is a journey with an inevitable end. No matter how much we achieve, accumulate, or experience, time moves forward, and eventually we all reach the final stage of our existence. Many people fear aging and death, seeing them as declines rather than natural transitions. Society often glorifies youth, vitality, and external success, leading people to resist the reality of growing older. However, Stoicism teaches a different perspective, one that embraces the passage of time with dignity, wisdom, and acceptance. Instead of fearing the end, we should prepare for it with grace, living each moment with purpose, so that when the final stage arrives, we can face it without regret. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is Memento Mori, the reminder that death is inevitable. This is not meant to be morbid or depressing, but rather a call to live fully. When we acknowledge that time is limited, we stop wasting it on trivial concerns. We let go of grudges, we focus on what truly matters, and we make peace with the things we cannot change. Instead of being consumed by the fear of aging, we learn to appreciate every phase of life, understanding that each stage has its own purpose and beauty. A young person may have energy and ambition, but an older person possesses wisdom, patience, and perspective. The value of a life is not measured by how long it lasts, but by how well it is lived. As the body weakens with age, the mind has the opportunity to grow stronger. Experience teaches us resilience, failure builds wisdom, and time reveals what truly matters. The Stoics remind us that external things, wealth, fame, physical beauty, are fleeting, but character endures. The final stage of life is not about loss, but about legacy. What impact have we made? Have we lived according to our principles? Have we treated others with kindness and integrity? These are the questions that define a life well spent. Many people reach old age clinging to the past, longing for youth, or regretting missed opportunities. But Stoicism teaches that regret is wasted energy. The past cannot be changed, and the future is uncertain. All we truly have is the present. If we spend our remaining time wisely, focusing on virtue, strengthening relationships and living with purpose, we ensure that our final years are not filled with sorrow, but with gratitude. When the end finally comes, it should not be met with fear, but with the knowledge that we lived honorably and well.